How you doing everyone? I'm Jake and this is Rave Vinyl Reminiscence, the channel where we throw fuel on the nostalgic fire for old school rave music. You've tuned into an episode that many people have nudged for over the past year, a visit to an iconic label that holds a very special place in the hearts of many and that cuts some of the most recognisable classics from back in the day. I'm going to take us through my personal selection of 12 tasty tunes, all pressed on rather prestigious wax. Got some belters for you. This is Suburban based records. So welcome all, good to be back with you for a full episode again, and returning to a single record label which we haven't done for a while. We've got a good number of new subscribers in the community. If that's you, welcome. You've stumbled on a lovely meeting place for like-minded music lovers. Now, whether you're new or a seasoned follower, make sure to check out the video archives, just in case you've missed an episode or two going back. I've put links to various playlists in the description for the labels we've visited, the DJs we've paid respects to, the journeys back over specific years, and the tune ID sessions, and the full mix sets, just to make things simpler if you're searching. So for this journey I've picked 12 favourites of mine, but I must add, this is not by any stretch of the imagination a finite list of all the masterpieces that were pressed on Suburban bass. There's so much to choose from, there's always going to be debate about personal favourites. So I look forward to you telling me what yours are if they haven't made it into this selection. But before we get started, let's have a little bit of background to set the scene. Suburban Bass Records was the creation of Danny Donnelly. The label's first release was Krome Time's The Rush back in April 91. Danny was the owner of the now legendary Boogie Times record shop in Romford, one of those old school vinyl shops that anyone who was lucky enough to have frequented back in the day knows were just magical. The sub-bass studio was located in Danny's parents' double garage, not far from the record store. Hard to imagine, isn't it, those simple looking places were where loads of the music we still love today came from. Now, as underground as that was, by the end of '92 the label had 12 UK singles chart hits, the first being Sonz the Loop era's Far Out, which by the way won't be featuring in this episode, only because we've already had that bad boy in a previous feature. And Discogs shows an immense catalogue of 413 vinyl releases to choose from, running from 91 all the way up to 2024 at the time of this recording. Out of that 413, I have 12 tracks here to tease your eardrums with, from 11 releases, all from 1991 to 1994. So let's get started. The first track is from 1991 and it's an undeniably classic sound of an era.
You're inside the biggest rave on earth.
This is Q-Bass, which was Dan Donnelly, and it has a title that's quoted almost every time our generation comments on the longevity of the rave movement.
Hardcore will never die.
The track features live samples taken from the Telepathy Freedom Rave at the Michael Sobel Sports Centre back in '91.
Who wants some more bass in their face?
Towards the arse end of the tune is where it really takes off for me, with these rolling stabs that just drive on all the way to the end. Okay, next we step into 1992 with the first of two tracks that I've chosen from Tings. Real name Winston Michael. Very different feel to this track, much lighter and full of character.
Keep the fires burning, baby. Come on. Keep the fires burning, baby.
using a vocal sample from an 80s track called Set It Out. This is such a quirky little tune that can throw a whole different flavour into any mix.
Keep the fires burning, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on, y'all.
About halfway through, the Tings tune seals the deal for me, opening up into this lovely piano section.
Keep the fires burning, baby. Keep the fires burning, baby. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
So next up, we have some truly legendary sounds. Any vinyl collectors of the era will recognise the cover instantly, and any DJ of the era will recognise this intro.
It's down, it's down, it's down. It's down, it's down.
The first of 3 tunes that will feature in this episode by DJ Krome and Mr. Time, being Terry Holt and Bernard Simon. So much of this music takes me right back to how I was feeling back then. Snapshots in my mind of sitting down the river at lunchtime from work, listening to mixes on my Walkman, out and about on various missions of tunes blasting in the car, and almost strobe light flashes of moments in my head, down in the underground of Stearns. This sound is for the underground, indeed. Classic sounds that are forever etched into the wax of history. Now, as is often the way with some of the classic records of the time, flip this over and you get another killer tune that everyone knows. I think actually this side was my go-to more than the last track. I just love the piercing way this breaks open after the opening vocal.
She keeps on running away, the girl, she keeps on running. She keeps on running away.
Like this. Come down.
Manic Stampede. This record's one of the earliest bits of vinyl I was mixing with. And I've said this numerous times now about other records, but the copy we had then got abused and tossed around all over the place at my mate's house. It must look like a wheel off a stock car by now. Having said that, it's probably listed as VG Plus the way people grade on Discogs these days. It never fails to impress me to think of the limited equipment and resources that these people making music back then had at their disposal. It's an incredible testament to the creativity of the time that such dynamic, quality music was produced. It still sounds the nuts today. for the next tune, we're returning to Run Tings. This is a beauty.
Give me something to dance to.
Something to dance to. The energy of this. This is one of those moments where maybe you're having a bit of a heavy one, just sitting things out for a while, and then this comes on over the speakers and you're like, let's have it.
Bust it.
Now halfway through, this track just bursts into this massive sound. A big system that just takes hold of the place and totally locks everyone in.
Give me something to dance to.
I love this tune, it takes you on a whole journey, hitting us with this magic positive run that just bounces along happily. For my next selection, we're jogging into 93 and it's a proper jolly tune by Austin. Producer and engineer for Suburban based records from 91 to 93, you can see Austin's name all over the vast majority of the centre labels. This is Unity in dub and it's a stop-go mix. This next section just demonstrates perfectly the unique character and energy of Suburban bass. It's a proper spicy little track. Plenty of tunes cut on this label just feel like a genre of their own. Vocal sample there from Melwin and the Rhythm Aces. It's a really interesting mixture, this tune. We get a bit of reggae now, followed by some seaside keyboards, a bit of cosmic teleportation, and then those nice snappy drums. Rightio, the next two tunes I've chosen for this sub-bass journey are from a DJ and producer who gave us a pretty tasty selection of banging tunes over the years. This is, as the lingo goes, the man like DJ hype. Only this ain't just like him, it is him.
I'll prove that I'm the greatest sound man of all time, and I'm starting right now!
So, DJ Hype, real name Kevin Ford. This is I Can't Understand It, which was co-produced by Sonz of a Loop the Loop era. I just love that early atmospheric section. But moving forwards, this is one dark and moody tune. So there's absolutely no way I could even talk about Hype without paying my respects to a particular tune in his catalogue. What a tune to start a set with this is. These eerie bells and the voice of George Harrison just luring us in for the trip.
Energy and consciousness. Energy and consciousness.
Weird energy, and it's the Hell's Bells mix. This tune soon kicks off and drags us down the road with this punchy percussion and famous horns from Unwind Yourself. This is my favourite part of the tune though, the way it drops into this hellish void and we get this spiky compressed drum sample. Tell me what that's called in the comments. Following that, the track then torpedoes you out into this hectic as crap run, lobbing you about with intermittent kind of rewind effects. Tasty. Right, up next we have the first of a couple of D Cruise tunes I've picked out. This one being a remix done by the Formation lads, DJ SS and EQ. And you can hear that influence here right from the start. Want You Now, D Cruz. Real name, Jason D Cruz. Another Essex lad who, when partnered with Dan Donnelly of Suburban Bass, made the Boogie Times tribe. Check this out for atmosphere. last clip I want to play you from this is so interesting. We enter this gazy sound here with those haunting vocals, and then the tune just breaks into this off-key piano run, which works really well in a twisted psychedelic way. Actually reminded me of the late Les Dawson's piano skills. Showing me age there. Okay, next up we have a true treasure of the old school archives, returning to Krome Time and one of the finest feel-good tracks of this era.
Ganja man, and I'll sing some man.
The Slammer, and once again a tune that's just oozing with unique character.
Dedicate to all ganja man, and I'll sing some man.
After that lovely section there, we have this fast-paced run with them snappy vocals. But here's where it's really happening. This quality piano interlude that just opens up and pours joy into the moment. Classic Krome Time, classic Suburban bass sounds. What a tune, eh? Right, we're going to step into 94 now for just one track. This is one of those few tunes that I've talked about before that I can clearly remember first hearing and buying. It's one of 4 tunes on a 10-inch Subplates 3 release. This is Heaven and Dark, and it's wicked. The tune leads in with lyrics from Flame's Honor Strength, and then this happens, and it's gorgeous. I just think that is so tasty. I remember this sounding so fresh when I first heard it in a record store. It brings back such vivid feelings for me every time I play it. There's this dark rolling section a bit further on with this eerie voice. twisting and distorting with howls in the background, and this laboured slow-mo drum that feels like one of them dreams. You know, where you're trying to run but you can't make your legs move. Grim, but banging. Right, that brings us almost to the end of my selection for this awesome record label. No doubt a few of you are yelling at the screen because I didn't include one that you think is right up there. I know, there's so many. But like I said at the start, if you've got a favourite tune from Suburban Bass, let me know in the comments. I've got a good few in my collection that I didn't include here, but there might be some I've missed over the years and I'd love to hear them. Now I absolutely acknowledge that Far Out by Sonz of Loop De Loop Era was cut on Suburban Bass, and that is an absolute gem. But as I said at the start regarding that tune, it's already been featured in a previous episode. I have saved one more tune to play the episode out with though, and it's definitely one of my favourites from this label. As always, I've really enjoyed bringing this selection to you. It takes a lot of time and work to put these episodes together, but I'm hugely grateful that I'm able to find the spare time to put towards something I'm so passionate about. I'm aware that not everyone has that kind of space in their lives. I didn't always. And I truly appreciate having so many of you here paying attention to the videos, and being able to connect with a wealth of like-minded people who really get what it's all about. I shared some of my thoughts on the power of gratitude and appreciation in a previous episode, but I think that's really one of the keys to happiness. In one of my many meaningful chats with my close mate, we were recently gassing about how, despite having faced some pretty dark times, we've always managed to stay pretty upbeat in our conversations together. And we realise it's because we've managed to stay appreciative of the simple things in life. Things that are easily available, that we can control, and that we have now. When you think about it, it's pretty simple, isn't it? At any given moment, we have access to thoughts about everything that we don't have, everything we've done wrong, everything we're scared of, and 24-hour access to bad news on our phones. Or we have instant access to everything that could be worse, but isn't. Every little thing that we've done that was good or that helped. Everything we're lucky to have and everyone we're blessed to know. And should we choose, 24-hour access to inspirational audiobooks and TED Talks. Both viewpoints are always just here or at our fingertips. Question is, which list do we look at? Maybe a measure of our happiness is nothing but a measure of what we focus on most, and the size of the gap between our expectations and our controllable reality. Without a doubt though, one of the biggest things me and my mate have is the ability to laugh at almost everything, eventually. There's been times when I've been taking a situation or the world or myself a bit more seriously than I could be. And my mate's torn me a new bumhole or put a funny edge on it. Whatever we call each other about, almost always we finish the phone call laughing. I think nature gave us that gift for a very important reason. Anyway, talking about appreciation for the things we do have, here's one more record I love and I do own. This is by a man I've mentioned twice already in this video, Sonz of a Loop De Loop Era, Daniel Widit. And this track is the remix of Peace and Loveism done by 4Hero, which was Mark Clare and Dennis McFarlane. Whether you've heard this before or not, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Crank it up, it's a beautiful tune. Look out for yourselves and every other person you can when the opportunity arises. Love to you all. Until next time.